It's still early yet, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this vehicle with me today could be one of the best driving crossovers or SUVs that I review this year. All right, I said it. And who am I? I'm Chris from AutoAcademics, and this is the 2025 Acura MDX Type S Advance. Now mind you, I didn't say the best performing crossover or SUV, but for everyday drivability, this MDX is sweet and comes very well equipped. The sole option is the urban gray paint for $600, giving you a total MSRP of $75,550. This refreshed MDX has a more aggressive front fascia and new diamond pentagon grille. The paint color called Urban Gray Pearl is new too, and while it looks flat from a distance, you can see its pearl hue and metallic flake when you get up close. The LED head and tail lights now have darker lenses, and the adaptive suspension can lower when in Sport or Sport Plus mode, or raise about 2.5 inches, providing up to 9.4 inches of ground clearance for deep snow, or if you happen to go off-road. I wouldn't recommend that though, because look at these wheels. They're 21 inches, and while they're fitted with all-season tires, those are primarily for winter. Plus, these wheels are nice, so you wouldn't want to scratch them. Also, check out the Brembo brakes up front. This is an on-road performance SUV, not one for off-road. Now, we've seen these types of sensors on cars before, but we haven't seen these sensors on this car before. These front corner radar are new and have a higher fidelity front camera that works in conjunction with a new front millimeter wave radar, providing more advanced driver assistive capabilities than before. In other words, the front end safety tech is better. Additional safety features include LED daytime running lights, an electric parking brake, and tire pressure monitoring system. Acura Watch 360 uses those sensors I mentioned and includes adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, forward collision warning, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, traffic jam assist, auto high beam assist, low speed braking control, traffic sign recognition, and active lane change assist. There's also front and rear cross traffic alerts. Open the power tailgate and you'll find 18.1 cubic feet of space behind the third row. Fold those down and you get 48.4 cubic feet behind the second. Do the same for the 40-20-40 split middle row and you get 95 cubic feet in all. There's a grocery hook, 12-volt outlet, and buttons to power close the cargo hatch on the left, with a cubby below and battery located beneath that. Cargo tie downs are in the corners, and there's some storage beneath the floor. The powertrain for this MDX Type S is a 3-liter turbocharged V6 that makes 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. A 10-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters handles the gears, sending power to all 4 wheels. Dynamic modes include lift, snow, comfort, normal, sport, sport plus, as well as an individual mode where you can adjust parameters for the engine, steering, suspension, and a few other things. EPA estimated fuel economy is rated at 17 miles per gallon city, 21 miles per gallon highway, and 19 miles per gallon combined. AutoAcademics saw an average of 19.3 miles per gallon during testing on the recommended premium fuel. In case you didn't know, the MDX is a 3-row vehicle, and access to the third row is fairly simple thanks to this button on the seat. Okay, Did I say simple? I lied. Unless you're 5, then climbing back here might be simple because space is extremely limited. The outboard second row seats can slide forward though for a bit more legroom, but the middle one is fixed, keeping passengers on their designated sides. There are, however, oddly shaped cup holders, USB-A charge ports, and quite a few of the many stereo speakers are back here too. Make your way to the second row and things will be much more comfortable, especially if no one is sitting back there, because then you can have a ton of legroom up here. There's plenty of head and shoulder room, the outboard seats recline, and the floor is flat, so a middle passenger will be fine during slightly longer trips. The middle seat can be removed, essentially making the second row captain's chairs, while allowing for a pass-through to the third row. It ain't easy though, as that seat is heavy and clunky to remove, especially if you're worried about marring your pretty white seats. Other features include a large panoramic roof up there, with a few more speakers too, and there's a third zone for climate, heated seat controls, as well as a 12-volt outlet and USB-C charge ports. There are window shades back here, and the rear door glass has been laminated, and some additional door insulation was added to make the cabin a bit quieter than before. The cockpit of this MDX Type S is nicely designed with a black and cream motif that looks premium and sporty. The matte wood provides a bit of warmth, and the steering wheel feels great in the hand. I really like these seats too. They've been redesigned with ultra suede bolsters and have the Type S logo embossed on the headrests. And not only do they look good, but they provide plenty of comfort and support. All of the displays are vibrant and clear, and the infotainment system is now powered by Google built-in. As with the ZDX and Honda's Prologue, the layout is a bit confusing, even though this one is different from the other two. But once you get a lay of the land, you can appreciate its responsiveness and functionality. This is the second Acura that I've reviewed with the Bang & Olufsen stereo, and it sounds nice. Treble is bright and bass is deep and strong. But as I've mentioned before, I don't care for the tonal controls. Simple bass and treble sliders work just fine. The new infotainment display is 12.3 inches, the center console has been redesigned with increased storage and plenty of USB ports. The stereo has a whopping 31 speakers, and there's Wi-Fi as well as wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. By now you know the wireless charger doesn't work well with my Galaxy Fold 6, but it might work fine with yours, and there's Alexa built in too. The seats have 6-way power adjustments, are heated and ventilated, as well as have massage capability. Plus, there are 3 zones for climate, ambient lighting, and the steering wheel is heated with paddle shifters in back. The cameras have a high resolution, and there's keyless entry with push-button start. So now that we've addressed all of that, it's time to take it out and see how it drives. With 355 horsepower, the Turbo V6 is strong, and it sounds pretty good too, even if it's not all real, at least on the inside when in Sport Plus mode, because on the outside, it doesn't sound like much of anything. But that's a common gripe I have with all of Acura's and Honda's performance products. They put those big exhaust tips on, which look great, mind you, but no sound comes out of them. The engine is smooth and the 10-speed auto shifts quick without any drama. And overall, handling is pretty good for something of this weight and size. It actually changes directions pretty confidently, and that's with these non-performance all-season tires. Also, Acura managed to do this without making the adaptive air suspension unnecessarily firm. The Brembo brakes have a good pressure feel and a strong initial bite, and they should be able to handle any spirited driving that you throw at them. And even with all that performance, I still appreciate how this MDX Type S remains a pleasant vehicle for everyday use. It's pretty quiet in here and doesn't present any squeaks or rattles when you go over bumps. I like the heads-up display too. It's large and provides plenty of information if you want it to. Now, as with a lot of performance SUVs, fuel economy is rather poor by today's standards. But visibility is good, and that's a trade-off that this car makes for an overall good driving experience. Oh, and while I'm dinging the fuel economy, with only about 280 miles of total range on a full tank, you'll probably be stopping a bit more on that long road trip. But at least it would be a nice trip. Now, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did a little comparison between the TLX Type S and my personal Audi S5. The TLX was fantastic, but it didn't have quite the edginess that my S5 has, which is something I appreciate in a performance sedan. This, I would argue, is the same, but the lack of edginess works better as an SUV than a sedan. You know, since it would likely be used more for family duty and longer trips. And because of its comfort and sportiness, this might be one of the best driving crossovers or SUVs that I reviewed this year. Now, it is still early, so I could be wrong. I could also be wrong about edgy SUVs. So if you like them, let us know in the comments section below. And as always, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss what we have coming up next. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. Thanks for watching. To put it simply, the front end safety tech is better. Nice bike.